There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick, okay? And I still got a job at home because I'm a mother. Because let's not forget, I don't get a day off. And I got to figure all that out. How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay the utility bills? That every single thing went up after COVID. Not one thing stayed the same except salaries. The only thing that stayed the same in this country is the minimum wage. Even though everything else went up, there is no scarcity. It is how do we pit people against each other so they're too distracted to see everything that I'm too addicted to consuming. And how much profit I'm making, and more profit, how many more houses one individual can have, how many yachts can one individual have. And you're gonna arrest me now that I make a tent city? Yeah. So if I take the scraps from the trash and make some kind of shelter for me and my children, regardless whether I have mental health issues, regardless whether I'm an addict, regardless of whether I am a female, male, whatever, I am a human being first. With what conscience are you criminalizing poverty?
There was a time when playing by the rules meant something. You went to school, you clocked in, paid your taxes, and in exchange you got a roof over your head and a modest slice of peace. But today, millions of Americans are waking up to a completely different reality. We are watching fully employed professionals, nurses, technicians, veterans who served this country getting priced out of basic survival. It is no longer about skipping vacations to save for a down payment. It is about working 50 hours a week just to afford a bucket to shower out of. The social contract hasn't just been bent, it has been torn to shreds, and everyday people are the ones paying the ultimate price.
I lived in a third world country this last year. It was so dangerous, it was so scary. Oh my God, I woke up every single day being like, oh my God. Bucket showers, living off the land, understanding where my food's coming from. Understanding the way of life. No, babes. America is a third world country. America is a third world country. I've been back for 3 months. And my body is so inflamed. Anytime I walk into a grocery store, I don't even know what to pick because I know it's all toxic. Any interaction I have, I'm like, oh my God, you just want something from me. The American men don't even get me started. The only thing that's beneficial about America is the opportunities here. You have more opportunities here, but you have to give your soul for those opportunities. You don't experience life or balance, no. You have to give your soul to even experience a taste of those opportunities. So if you are scared to travel the world and see other places, I promise you, you're going to be way safer somewhere else than in America. If you're an American, you're good. Your nervous system is prepped for other places in the world.
I just say that I feel more unsafe in Philadelphia than I did in any Latin American city right now. I was backpacking Central and Latin America for 6-7 months, and I have never felt unsafe until I got back to Philadelphia. It's just so bad. There's cop cars everywhere. There's kids running around. This kid just said it's a war zone out here. I can't make this up. I can't make it up. I got police everywhere. There's police literally everywhere. There's kids screaming. Necesito salir a los Estados Unidos. Es muy mal.
I did everything I was supposed to do. I was in the military. I went to college. I worked, and we can't buy a home. What did I do wrong? I'm a nurse, and I love it. I love it. It's great.
And what does your husband do?
He's a manufacturing tech at Intel. So we have pretty good jobs, decent jobs.
Do you feel like those jobs are enough to cover your living expenses? And
not even close. We pay about $3,000 in rent. We have all of the utilities. We have car payments, car insurance, mouths to feed, and gas. Maybe we have enough left over for groceries and toiletries and household stuff. Why are we struggling? I'm not gonna give up. The goal is to buy a home in 3 years. If I have to get a second job as a nurse, then so be it.
You will do that.
I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna give my kids something to be proud of.
Learned that America is a third world country because of the rest of the world is so far in front of us in just about everything that I don't know where we have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys. Yeah, I'm sad to go back. There are so many countries out there that are just leaps and bounds in front of us in technology, society, everything. We should probably start spending a lot more money on building our country rather than trying to save everybody else, because we're not that great, guys. I can tell you firsthand, we are not doing great. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all I got to say about that topic for now. But yeah, I think anybody that's, flown to any other major city in the world can kind of speak to that as well.
America has literally built a system where being poor is more expensive. And nobody talks about how backwards that is. Like, if you're already struggling, everything costs more. On a bill you couldn't afford? Well, now you owe more. Miss a payment because you were trying to juggle rent and groceries? Well, now your credit drops and you owe even more money. Overdraw your account by a few dollars? Well, now you owe $50. Like, the system punishes you for already being behind. We're always rewarding millionaires while the people that are struggling the most just simply end up paying the most money. But everybody still says, work harder, budget better. The reality right now is the economy is brutal. It is so hard to get ahead right now. How are you supposed to get ahead whenever you fall behind a little bit and the system just keeps pushing you back further and further? Everything is insane right now. Rent is at an all-time high. Groceries are so expensive. I don't understand how we're supposed to get ahead in this economy anymore. Don't get me wrong, budgeting does help. I literally have to budget with mine, or else I don't know where any of my money would be going. But it doesn't make up for the fact that the system is literally designed to fail us. So if you're struggling right now, you are not alone.
America just doesn't feel like home anymore. And honestly, it hasn't felt like home in a long time. In fact, I feel probably more like a foreigner living here than I probably would living abroad. And that's honestly what me and my wife intend to do next year, is to move abroad before I turn 40. Now, we've narrowed it down to about 4 different countries. So we're looking at Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and the Philippines. And the reason we're looking at these places is because we want to live our life. We actually want to live. The majority of Americans right now are literally sacrificing their lives just to survive. And it's insane. I want to live somewhere where the cost of living actually reflects an actual existence that's not just chasing this pipe dream of everyone trying to be a billionaire. You're not going to be a billionaire. And if you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to work your ass off, and you're going to miss your kid shit, and you're going to work and work and work and work until you're dead. That's the American dream right now. And it's just so sickening to me. And then between how angry Americans are. I mean, I can't even stop at a stop sign. If I look down for a second and a green light starts, beep, 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 you piece of... That is literally America right now. People want to just each other because they're so damn stressed out, and we're supposed to live in the greatest country in the world. I'm just so angry about all of this shit in this country. I don't want to leave here. This is my home, but at the same time, it don't feel like home. I can't even have someone look at me in the eye and just do the little white boy stare, go, the little head nod. Nobody will even do that anymore. Nobody will say hi. I mean, it's insane. It's just nobody cares about each other. I mean, I've lived in an apartment for the last 5 years. I've seen my neighbors pretty much every day. Haven't said hi to one of them. And maybe that's a problem, but they haven't said hi to me either. Maybe a little wave or smile, but it's just crazy. And I know I'm ranting, but, me and my wife have decided to do something different. So our plan is to save up for a year. I'm also building online income. So I want to try to have about $3,000 to $5,000 a month consistently doing that to make sure I can make that move. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If the cost of living abroad is respecting another culture and following the visa rules, that's what I'm going to do. That's not that bad to live a better life than we do here, because I'm telling you, I know people who make $15 an hour and don't have savings or don't have any other options. And when rent around here is $1,500 to $1,600 a month and you're single, 90%, 80% of your pay for the month is going just towards rent. How do they even eat? I don't know. I don't ask, but I feel really bad for them. And this has to change in this country. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And I promise you, these politicians, Democrats, Republicans, none of them ain't going to change shit. They don't care. You know why? Because this whole American system is a rug pull. It's a rug pull. You could see it in the stock market. You could see everything going on. We're trillions in debt. There is no fixing this. There's no fixing this. So you know what they're doing? The rich are getting as much as they can. They're going to pull the rug out from under you, and you're going to have nothing. You're going to be fit with a bill. They're going to be rich and laughing, and we'll be starving. So either revolt or move this place.
So do you have to pay anything to live here? And this is what the government did. They had a plan to come. Not the government?
Volunteer group.
A volunteer group made this, so not even the government.
No, government did nothing for us there as far as building.
Does the government ever come to see how you guys are doing?
Well, we had fire inspectors and things like that. We have an inspection team come over to see that everything was up code. This is fire retardant material that is built out of. Many of them burnt down.
Where do you go to the bathroom and shower?
Kind of personal, but I use a bucket and throw away plastic bags.
Right here in California, where the richest of the rich live. Gavin Newsom, your governor here, he just recently bought a home that I think was around $9 million in the San Francisco area. $9 million. And here you are, a veteran, and this is shantytown. I remember many years ago seeing something like this in India, and I just couldn't even fathom it with my brain that this could actually exist anywhere. And here we are in Oakland, California, you know, just miles away from Nancy Pelosi's street up there on the hill. In 2022, she was reportedly worth $125 million. Why couldn't she give some of that millions? Just is so frustrating and so awful to see people living like this. And I bet you feel just blessed to have shelter over your head at night.
I am. I try to take care of it, but it's very difficult with people coming and going. They're using me as a throughway to get down to there.
So people walk through your house to go down here.
Yeah. That's all that area that was open. That was all public land right there for us.
Do they do the courtesy of knocking on your door first?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, certainly, yeah.
And I got to say, as a United States veteran, it's absolutely horrible to see how our government is taking care of our veterans. You served our country honorably, and here you are living in third world conditions.
We're helping out the third world countries. We can't help it better.
The skyrocketing cost of living has left millions of people working at full-time jobs or a number of part-time jobs still unable to afford a place to live. Ali Rogan is back with her conversation with journalist Brian Goldstone, author of There Is No Place for Us, about this growing nationwide crisis.
Thank you so much for joining us. In your work, you've come to know many people who work, who may have more than one job, but have come into circumstances where they cannot afford to keep a roof over their heads. Certainly, each person has a unique story, but are there any common threads in their experiences that you've been able to identify?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do argue in my book that in cities across America today, in one city after another, a low-wage job really is homelessness waiting to happen. And what they have in common is they all belong to the low-wage workforce. And it's not just that their wages are too low to keep up with the skyrocketing cost of having a place to live. It's also that the jobs themselves have become increasingly volatile and precarious, where they often don't know how many hours they're going to be getting from one week to the next. Their employers give them 29 hours a week because at 30 they would be eligible for basic benefits like health insurance or sick leave. And yeah, the cost of housing, rents are just very, very quickly outpacing what their incomes are. So that's kind of the backdrop that that defines these people's existence.
For a long time, the stereotypical perception of homelessness is that it is something that happens to people on the fringes of society, and that may have never been accurate. But what have you found out in your reporting about the reality of what it's like to be without a home?
Yeah, I mean, one really astonishing truth about homelessness in America is that what we see on the street is really the tip of the iceberg. There's this entire world of homelessness that is out of sight, that has been rendered invisible. And within that shadow realm of homelessness, as I refer to it, it is overwhelmingly populated with people, again, who are part of the low-wage workforce, who families with children. And these are people who are working and working and working some more, and it simply is not enough to secure one of life's most basic necessities, a roof overhead. I mean, to be sure, in the richest nation on the planet, nobody should be without housing. But these pernicious myths and stereotypes that homelessness is just caused by addiction or it's just caused by mental illness, it really is not borne out by the reality on the ground. And indeed, often mental illness and addiction is a consequence of this form of insecurity, not its cause.
What's making this a very unique situation and time is that there are people that are working full time, many people, and they cannot afford a place to live. Think about that. Americans are doing everything they were told to do. They work, they grind, they pay their bills, and many are still falling behind. Cities like Oakland and Seattle have become symbols of what happens when housing, addiction, inflation, and economic pressure all collide at once. People are really seeing that once the safety net disappears, there is a lot of poverty in this country, and Americans are realizing
what we are witnessing isn't just a tough economic cycle. This is a structural failure. When a registered nurse and a tech manufacturer are bringing home dual incomes and still terrified of missing rent, the system is fundamentally broken. Wall Street equity firms are swallowing up family homes, corporate monopolies are driving up regional living costs, and Washington continues to look the other way while 10 cities wrap around the block. We are punishing working-class people for falling behind in a race they were set up to lose from the starting line. It is no wonder so many folks are actually looking at packing up and leaving the country altogether. You shouldn't have to flee the United States just to afford a normal life. Are you seeing this same breaking point in your own neighborhood? Are the working professionals in your life struggling just to keep their heads above water? Let me know what you are witnessing down in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.